Hello and welcome to EATV. Today I'm going to do a video on Fox's Book of Martyrs. Just give a few Bible verses. Matthew 7:26, the foolish man that built his house upon the sand. A lot of things are built on sand. And the sign of an occult is they reject the KJV Bible. The KJV has a lot of proof to back up that it's a solid piece of document, and the heritage and the line of the KJV is very solid and strong, and a lot of people out there they really do try and go against it. Like I said in the past, I've spoken to Jehovah's Witnesses and they go hard against the KJV, even though I've told them about William Tyndale, and you know, he's clearly a man of God. The way he held his the way he held himself, the courageousness of the God, how courageous he was in making sure that people could get a New Testament Bible, and he made sure that it came from the right people. Erasmus, so he translated from Erasmus. And in the book, Fox's Book of Martyrs, William Tyndale was likened to the Apostle of England. What this book shows is that there's been a lot of persecution of Western Christians in England and in Europe, and there's not a lot of history about it out there. On the telly, I've heard people vaguely go into that there was like a situation between Catholicism and Protestants, but really the situation was Catholic representatives going hard to eradicate the Protestant. That's really what it was, you know. So it's not like the way the telly would present it as a to and a fro. It was these people wanted to eradicate that other group. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing the video on it, because I think it's a bit of history that is not brought forward and not dealt with in today's world. And you know, Catholicism is an arm of the Babylonian regime. You know, it's nothing to do with Christianity. And a lot of these Protestant Christians were at what they call a stake, and there was fire, there was strangulation, there was all kinds of extremely painful some torture that these people went through, men and women. There's lots of names in the book, huge amount of names here. And John Fox's Book of Martyrs, for him to record these martyrs, he was in a lot of danger, because these people didn't want that information recorded, you know, and and so on. So he put himself at risk. I'm just going through the book. Here we got George Marsh, A Declaration of Life, Examination and Burning of George Marsh, who suffered the most consistent martyrdom of the profession of the gospel of Christ at Winchester, and 24th day of April 1555. The said George Marsh was born in the parish of Dean in the county of Lancaster, and was well brought up in learning and honest trade of living by his parents, who afterwards, about 25th year of his age, took to wife an honest maiden of the country, with whom he continued, earning their living upon a farm, having children between them lawfully begotten, and then God taking his wife out of this world, he being the most desirous of godly studies, leaving his household and children in good order, went to University of Cambridge, where he studied, and much increased in learning and godly virtues, and was a minister of God's holy word and sacraments, and for a while was curate to Lawrence Saunders, as he himself reporteth, in which condition of life he continued for a space, earnestly setting forth God's true religion to the defacing of the Antichrist's false doctrine by his godly readings and sermons, as well there and in the parish of Dean or elsewhere in Lancashire, whereupon at length, by detection of certain adversaries, he was apprehended and kept in close prison by George Coates, then a bishop of Chester, in Strait Prison in Chester, within the precinct of the bishop's house, about the space of 4 months, being not permitted to have relief and comfort of his friends, but charge being given unto the porter to mark who they were that asked for him, and signifying names in particular. Just move on a bit. So he went all the way to his death. This man goeth not unto his death as a thief, or as one that deserveth to die. So he didn't deserve to die, but they still killed him. So kneeling down, he made his prayers, and then put off his clothes until his shirt, and then he rechained unto the post, having a number that's under him. He said, Father of heaven, have mercy upon me, and so yielding his spirit unto the hands of the Lord. Upon this, many of the people said that he was a martyr, and died marvellously, patiently, and godly, which thing caused the bishop shortly after to make a sermon in the cathedral church, and therein affirm that the said Marsh was a heretic, burnt like a heretic. So the fake Christians called him a heretic, and he was fire banned in hell. But that's untrue, because I perceive that guy, George Marsh, as a very courageous man who died a very painful death, and I think God would honour his work, what he did.